You know, John, it's very interesting. In California, there's a song that goes something about when the swallows come back to Capistrano. It's a whole romantic thing. Well, we're at budget time in the greater Victoria area, and what's happening is the chickens are coming home to roost. You have proposed tax increase in Saanich, or sorry, in Langford, for example, of 10%. But look at the contingent liabilities that council was left with by the previous administration, including they were given 1 month to come up with $31 million to buy the rec center. You know, that's yeah. So anyway, government's cost.
Yeah.
The debates that have gone on in other councils are illustrative. It does appear that when you ask the staff to prepare a budget proposal, they will first of all protect themselves. That's not a surprise. But they're not going to be the ones to institute, let's say, an A-based review of the fleet maintenance department in a municipality. We have been arguing for a very long time that there should be, on a random basis, continuing in every municipality, an A-based review of one function, perhaps a year or every 2 years or every election cycle. Now, I spoke recently at Sydney Council on this issue and also the issue of councillor pay. And we went through that whole unbelievably disturbing process with the Victoria Council, where the consultant they hired couldn't make a recommendation. They compared Victoria Council salaries to salaries in Edmonton. Mind you, that's a city of 1 million people, and Victoria's got 95,000. But anyway, kind of the same thing. So
without a zero.
Yeah. In Sydney, there is a proposal I think they've agreed to, after the next election, to raise councillor pay from, I think it's 19 to 26,000, and the mayor up to 61,000. Well, several things. First of all, I was there for the debate, and the one reason that one councillor gave for the increase for councillors was to make the jobs more accessible. So people who didn't bring into the job, it's a part-time job, bring into the job, enough salary would be encouraged to run. That's fine. But there was no debate about that. And there were there was no other rationale other than the pay that councillors get in, Victoria or Saanich or Colwood. And my point there was, I don't vote for those councillors. I vote for you. I don't think the comparables matter the way they would if you were hiring, let's say, a CAO or the head of engineering. Yes, you would see what the comparable salary is. And I expressed considerable dismay that there was really no substantive debate on the reasons for such a significant increase. And only one councillor did point out that although there hadn't been a major adjustment since 2014, every year the councillors were receiving a COLA adjustment, which is, of course, logical. But I thought they needed a little more substantive reason to giving themselves a significant pay increase, and it never came. They just sort of went ahead and did it over the objections, I think, of 3 councillors. Well, that's pretty disturbing. The second thing is they're going for, please don't quote the exact number, but between 7 and 9% tax increase. And I suggested that it was not good enough, for example, for the city of Victoria to be arguing whether they could reduce the number of flower baskets in the downtown area to help reduce the budget. What I suggested to the council was the only way that council can defend a significant, and keep in mind the inflation rate now is, I know it's edging up, but it's about 3%, between 2 and 3%. The only way they could rationalize such an increase was if they could look the taxpayer in the face and say, we have exhausted all possibilities to hold costs down, such as, merging 2 fire services, North Saanich and Sydney, or contracting, with other neighboring municipalities on common services, or we're going to do an A-based review of whatever. These are really troubled times. And you know better than I, all that tax revenue, one way or another, comes from the economic activity in this region. It doesn't come from anywhere else. Oh, I know there are federal programs, there are provincial programs, but they are all based on economic activity in the province or in Canada.
It doesn't matter what level. It's all coming from
No,
the same tree.
yeah, and with the Sydney Council, I pointed out that for the last 15, 20 years, the tax increase has always exceeded the inflation rate. And for many years, it exceeded the inflation rate by 200 or 300% and the population growth rate. Well, that's no longer the case. And Sydney is booming, and no question about that. And so I suggested that, when the Winter Olympic Games, a new sport was introduced, and this is true. It's uphill skiing. You got to lug your skis up the hill and then ski down. And I suggested that this council and many others seem to think that the taxpayer loved skiing uphill, up a tax mountain. We can't do it anymore. And it's a crazy tax season. It's a crazy debates as if nothing's changed, as if the trading conditions haven't changed, as if things will just continue as they always will. Oh, by the way, do we mention that technically the provincial government is virtually bankrupt? I mean, how many times can its credit rating be downgraded by Moody's? They're getting tired of doing it. We need the strength of municipalities. We all depend on the places where we live, but we need them to be reasonable, rational, and efficient in the bargain they make between their taxpayers, their citizens, their residents, and the need to deliver common services. We are so far from that now that I don't know how you can build a ski jump into an uphill ski run, but they're coming close to having to do it. It must stop.